So, very good afternoon and welcome in joining this webinar session with the topic of what building surveyors do, exploring the career path of becoming a registered building surveyor. I, T. Jarong, your moderator for today, is honored to be here before you as we embark on the journey of discovery into this fascinating and dynamic field. First and foremost, on behalf of the team, I would like to thank you all for spending your precious time with us here in the webinar session. Before we dive in, let me briefly introduce our speaker for today, Associate Professor, Surveyor Technologist Dr. Farid Wajdi bin Akasha, who became a registered building surveyor in 2014, which granted him the surveyor prefix in front of his name. Dr. Farid currently is one of the associate professors in the Department of Building Surveying in the Faculty of Built Environment at the University of Malaya. In 2006, he graduated from with the Bachelor Honours of Building Surveying and managed to obtain a PhD in Fire Safety Engineering at Ulster University in United Kingdom. At the present, he is also the treasurer of Malaysian Association of Registered Building Surveyors, MyRBS, and a committee member of Royal Institution of Surveyors Malaysia, RSM. So thank you, Doctor, for being here with us.
Thank you, JR, for the invitation. It's my pleasure, and thank you for that kind introduction.
All right. So without further ado, let's embark on this exciting journey of learning and discovery. All right. I believe some of us here are wondering what actually a building surveyor is and do. So, Doctor, do you mind enlighten us regarding who is building surveyor and what does building surveyors do on their daily life?
Sure. Thank you very much for that question. So, when it comes to building surveyor and building survey in Malaysia, I think it is best that we get a bit of an overview into what building surveyors do in and around the world. So, as a matter of fact, building surveyor is a well-known profession, at least in many other parts of the world. As an example, in the United Kingdom, building surveyors are expected or involved in evaluation of the property's condition, conducting defect analysis, dilapidation, and managing contracts, and also expected to provide maintenance solutions. As with our neighbors, Hong Kong, as an example, building surveyors is most recognized in this very country. And in Hong Kong, they are involved in public and private housing schemes in all phases of construction. So that means when it comes to building surveyors, you can see them working either at the construction stage, at the stage where buildings is in use, or maybe even up to the point where building is being demolished, and that would be something that would allow us to better understand the whole spectrum of a life cycle of a building. And with our neighbor down under, Australia, as an example, building surveyors are very much involved in building control. They are also engaged in dilapidation analysis of new and historical buildings. In Malaysia, building surveyors are expected to be competent in three main focus areas. One being building control and compliance, building defect and inspection, and the third one would be building safety and performance. So those, as you can see, are the many facets of building surveyor services in and around the world. And to me, that's what makes building surveyor an exciting profession that many of you can go on and explore. As with the typical sort of like day in a life of a building surveyor, I must say that sometimes there is, most of the time, at least there is no really typical day that is expected in the life of a building surveyor. Usually, we do many things within a day, and as with what we do, usually we are expected to go on and conduct site visits, engage and meet with clients, go on and review plans, documents, acts, statutes, and other legal framework documents, go on and perform facade and roof inspections. Sometimes we use tools and technologies such as drone for us to go on and do that. We do more and more inspections, whether it is to a new building that are just very much in use, or an old or historical buildings. We also sometimes do have to go on and sketch when it comes to trying to document our findings when we do our inspection on site. But also sometimes we make use of tools and technologies, such as when we have to go on and use 3D scanner to perform a measured drawing or produce a measured drawing for a building. And of course, I would say it is a must that we go on and enjoy ourselves. As much as we have a very busy, hectic schedule, we need to go on and have always enjoy and end our day with a smile always.
Yeah, that's true. All you do is a happy day, and that's all you need.
Most certainly.
Yes. So after all those explanations, the building surveyor indeed is the building doctor. So now moving on to the next question. Doctor, I believe you have must taken a numerous project throughout your whole career path. So do you think that is exciting job for as a building surveyor?
Oh yeah, most certainly. I mean, to me, when it comes to building surveyor, it is the reason for why it is an exciting career path or career choice for those of you that are considering to maybe decide upon what are the things that you wanted to pursue for your tertiary education. I would say Bachelor of Building Surveying, in which where you can go on and try to aim to become a building surveyor, a registered building surveyor in the future. What makes it exciting is because it offers diverse and exciting opportunities for you. And like I said earlier, I mean, sometimes there would be projects of which where you would have to go on and perform inspections to a site or buildings that are still in construction. Sometimes, or most of the time at least, it is a building that is in use already. And of course, these buildings have got many, many types. It can be, say, for example, new modern buildings. It can also be an old historical building as well. So that what makes it exciting for a building surveyor, because it is very much the portfolio of buildings or portfolio of projects that you be involved in that allows you to be exposed to many, many people, many, many tools and technologies that are being applied in the industry. And when it comes to the involvement, like I said earlier, the whole life cycle of a building would require a building surveyor's service. So that would be something of which where it is a lot more exciting, because you are not just stuck at building things, not basically involved in just construction. Say, for example, sometimes you have to go on and be in a building that is towards the end of its life cycle. So maybe it is dilapidated, maybe it is sort of like needing refurbishment or fit out work to be conducted. So you can see a different angle of how building evolve as well. Next, when it comes to why it is exciting, I would say this is a very, very important point, I would say. Building surveyor is an all-season profession. So meaning to say, whether we are at the peak of an economic boom, or maybe we are in, say, for example, recession or economic crisis, there is always going to be a demand for a building surveyor within either Malaysia or beyond. So that's the reason for why I would say three most exciting things, the why building surveyor is a very much exciting career choice for you to choose. Adding on to the point that I made in regards to why building surveyor is an exciting career choice is because it allows you to be involved and play a different variation of roles and responsibilities based on the project that is assigned to you. So, like I said earlier, I mean, if you are going to be involved in a construction stage, the roles and responsibilities that is going to be expected of you are going to be different, as with when you are involved in a project where you are required to go on and perform inspection in an in-use building. And that's the thing of which that would make things exciting for you. As I said earlier, when it comes to being a building surveyors, there is no way that we would be able to go on and perform our roles and responsibilities without being able to be competent and knowledgeable when it comes to us utilizing tools and technologies in and around us. As an example, when we go on and try to reach for or record a difficult area to document, say for example, if it is a big, huge facade that we need to cover and record, then we would have to go on and make use of drone. When it comes to, say for example, sometimes we need to go on and conduct non-destructive tests or even destructive tests. I mean, in the case of having to go on and collect samples, then we need to go on and use the right kind of tools, and we need to go on and use the right kind of like tests as well. Say for example, do coring tests and do coring and subsequently go on and conduct carbonation tests. And of course, we go on and make use of other tools to go on and determine the crack width, the quality of the concrete, and of course, those are the things of which where we would need to be good at, and that's the thing of which that the knowledge and experience that you gain during the time of which that you study, and you may go on and study at University Malaya for a Bachelor of Building Surveying course, then this is something that would prep you before you join the industry.
All right. So after listening to all those sweet parts, shall we get into the bitter part now?
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right. So here's the question, Doctor. So can you tell us the most challenging encounter that you have faced during your BS career?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that's there are many interesting or unforgettable experience that I've gained throughout my time practicing as a building surveyor. I mean, one of it I would say would be during the time of COVID, where we have to continue on to record and perform inspections. As I said earlier, building surveyor is all seasons profession, and during the last period of COVID crisis, we are being considered as one of the essential service to go on and continue to provide services to the public. Hence, we need to continue doing business as usual. So, because of that, we need to be very careful in observing health, safety, and environment protocols. So, one example is which where we need to go on and still carry on with our inspections, and because of the condition at that point where COVID trend is, peaking, so we need to go on and make sure that whenever that we are on site, we basically have to wear the PPE,
SOP,
full PPE to go on and conduct this. I mean, as you know, as many of you might have heard before, our frontliners, those people at the security service, the healthcare facilities professionals, say for example, they have to go on and do this, and so do us building surveyor. So it makes, it is extremely good experience, although it's very, very tough, I must say, because having to carry on all those tools with you and needs to go on and sort of like complete inspection is certainly not easy. And for that, it is something that I would always remember throughout my time. And of course, in some cases as well, although we really, really plan our inspection, sometimes because of maybe if you are not careful, right? Things unexpected might happen. Accident might happen. As with past experience, whenever that we go on and perform a drone inspection, say for example, we need to be very careful in terms of planning our flight path. We need to go on and make sure that we fly at a right time, usually very early in the morning, where there is not much wind, say for example. And we need to really also study the layout of the building, because it might have a direct impact in our flight path, making sure that our safe flight path is really safe. And we need, again, something that I learned and I would always remember is also noting the wind directions, and make sure that you monitor it from time to time, not just based on forecast. Because why? Because in one of the instances where one of the past project, where I'm involved in, we have to go on and we have already identified our safe flight path. We need to cover one building, but the adjacent building, just next to the building of our case study. So we have to go on and make a round. We have to cover all 4 facades of this building. But when it comes to trying to cover this narrow path between building A and building B, because we somehow missed, to sort of like monitor the wind direction on that day, our drone end up on the ledge of the building next door. And it was just difficult to try and retrieve it. So yeah, I would say that would be one of the, at least one of the experience that I would never going to forget.
Well, there's just something that you don't wish to face every day.
Most certainly.
Okay. All right, so next, pretty sure the audience have gotten the picture extensively about the building surveyor. So it seems like you need to become a registered building surveyor in order for you to fully operate in the working field. So doctor, we would like to know how to become a registered building surveyor.
All right, thank you for that question. I think one of the things of which that you can do is if you are currently considering looking for a program and higher learning institution to pursue your study to become a building surveyor, you might want to go on and be on the lookout for an institution that is offering a program that is accredited by one, Royal Institution of Surveyors Malaysia, and 2, Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. As an example, Bachelor of Building Surveying at University of Malaya do offer such program. The program that is offered in University Malaya, Bachelor of Building Surveying, is essentially accredited by both local and professional bodies that I mentioned earlier. So by having qualification or by graduating from this institution, you would then have to go on and upgrade your membership from a student member. You can become one once you are enrolled in this program. Then upgrade once you graduated. Right away after you get your scroll, your a proof of which where you have completed this program, you can quickly go on and upgrade yourself and become a graduate member. Then you need to go on and ensure that you fulfill the requirement for continuing professional development points, CPDs for short, and you need to make sure that you do that yearly. Monitor, meaning to say, as a building surveyor, you are expected to become a lifelong learner. So then you need to go on and make sure that you plan your work so that you fulfill or be involved in the projects that would allow you to demonstrate your competency in 3 areas of which that I mentioned earlier: the building control and compliance, the building safety and performance, and also by doing that, you would then be able to submit your logbook after 2 years to RISM. Then they will call you in for a professional interview. Once you completed the successfully completed the interview, then only you would be given or you will be awarded the status of full corporate member of RISM. And at that point, that is when you will be able to wear SR prefix in front of your name. And that is something of which that you might want to aim to achieve as soon as possible. Let's aim to become a member of these highly reputable, recognized professional bodies so that you would be allowed to practice and be recognized as a competent person, particularly a competent building surveyor. The reason for why I make it a point that you need to try and become a registered building surveyor, a corporate member of a professional body, is because, currently, there are not many registered building surveyors in the market. I must say that for those of you that are listening, registered building surveyors would allow you to go on and practice as a building surveyor. Meaning to say, you would be allowed to go on and commission a report, sign off report, and before authorize the report so that you can submit it to your client. So, it is essentially sort of like similar to what Board of Engineers are doing with engineers as well. As an example, a full corporate member of RISM, SR, is an equivalent of professional engineers with Board of Engineers, or for short, PE. They can wear a prefix of IR in front of their name. However, if you want to go on and practice, if you want to go on and approved, authorized a particular report, inspection report, and so on and so forth, a design as an example in the case of engineer, and in the case of surveyor, you want to go on and authorize your report, you need to go on and become a registered building surveyor. So registered building surveyor is essentially an equivalent of PEPC, or an acronym that stands for Professional Engineer with Practicing Certificate. Alright, so meaning to say, being a registered building surveyor, it allows you to practice as offering services to a general public in Malaysia. So that's the reason for why I say you need to go on and try to aim to become one as soon as possible once you have fulfilled all the requirements like I mentioned earlier.
All right, so thank you for the guideline, Doctor.
No problem at all.
Okay, so time sure flies, and we are at the last question for this webinar session. So for this last question, Doctor, could you explain the structure of building surveying degree program at and also its registration process?
Sure. I mean, being an academic with Department of Building Surveyor myself, I would say the program at University Malaya, Bachelor of Building Surveying at University Malaya, is a program that was developed in association with Royal Institution of Surveyors Malaysia. So that means that we at University Malaya do have a program that is accredited by this professional body. Apart from RISM being the local professional body that governs and pull together surveyors in Malaysia, we also are accredited by Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors UK. So meaning to say, by having a dual accreditation by both local and international professional bodies, you would be getting a chance to go on and become chartered surveyor with RICS as well. And being a graduate from an accredited program from RICS, it would allow you the chance to go on and practice in Commonwealth countries such as Singapore, Hong Kong, Australia, United Kingdom, and many more. And these are things of which that our alumni of Bachelor of Building Surveying in University Malaya have done through in the past. And when it comes to the period of study, the program is 3.5 year program, and it consists of 8 semesters, including 1 special semester, and the length of the 1 full semester is 14 weeks. So unfortunately, at this current juncture, we only offer this program on a full-time basis. But then again, I would say this is a must, because if you listen to what I've shared earlier, during this time, you would be trained, you would be equipped with the right kind of knowledge and be exposed to, knowledge and experience to go on and be masterful or at least knowledgeable in terms of making full use of tools and technologies that would make your life easier as a building surveyor to perform roles and responsibilities asked of you by your client in the future. When it comes to applying for a Bachelor of Building Surveying at University Malaya, apart from UPU channel, you may also now try to apply through Saluran Terbuka UM 1, which is also known in English as Universities Malaya Open Channel. So it allows you a distinctive admission pathway that would cater for Malaysian that aspire to study Bachelors of Building Surveying at University Malaya. And this is essentially an exciting area of which that you might want to consider. And I strongly suggest that you consider this particular channel when it comes to you applying for a place at University Malaya to study Bachelor of Building Surveying by way of going on to this website, https study.um.edu.my open channel 1. You can, for the full link, can be found on your screen right now.
So thank you for the explanation, Doctor. So it seems like we have reached the end. For anyone who is interested with this building surveying program, we warmly welcome any inquiries. You can email your questions to small letter bs underscore fbe at um.edu.my. I repeat again, small letter bs underscore fbe at um.edu.my. So once again, thank you for everyone who are watching this webinar. I hope it enlightens everyone on the existence of this profession and program. Especially thanks to Dr. Farid
Thank you.
for your time, knowledge, and experience sharing. So that's all for today, and see you all next time. Bye bye.